The topic of today's is Silent Roar, Initiating AAC for Adult Users, Developing Life Skills and Independence. And it's by Rubina Mohan from Shaurya Foundation Trust from Delhi. So a very warm welcome to Rubina. She's going to be the speaker for today's session. So a brief introduction about her. She's a psychologist and the director of Shaurya Foundation Trust. And she's done her MA Applied Psychology from the University of Delhi. And she's done her course in Developmental Psychology from UC Berkeley Extension in the US. A social sector professional with 25 years of management experience and specific program development and implementation experience. She's been leading and mentoring teams to achieve program goals and bring about a positive change. She's worked on various social development issues like education and training, mental health, disability rights, health and hygiene, employment generation, community-based rehabilitation, equal opportunities, environmental issues, resource channelization, etc., etc. And last but not the least, I wanted to let you know that there was an Avaz sale that was there. So whoever has joined in and bought the thing from the sale, please do contact us or join our sessions for getting to know more about Avaz. So back to Rubina, I'm handing it over.
We are very excited to share all the learnings and especially all the support that I want to start with thanking the Avaz team for all the support that they've given us all through this journey of AAC. So we'll be very keen to share our learnings. So if we may just start the screen share. I have a colleague here who's helping me technologically in this Sakshi. So we have had our, jump starts. So Silent Roar, as the name might suggest, is actually we have a project called Roar, which is a sales project. And then we decided that our non-verbal young colleagues were not part of this whole revolution that we were creating. So the Silent Roar came from there. That the idea is that there are these young people who actually have so much to offer but are not getting these opportunities. So I'll just take you through what Shaurya Foundation does. So Shaurya Foundation has been around for almost 12 years now, and we work with intellectually challenged young adults. So which are now, we have a very clear that this is the longest lifespan. And this is where they need the most opportunities, and they tend to, a lot of people with IDD actually tend to be just out of schools or any other services as they reach the age of 18 and not having many opportunities beyond that. So Shaurya was the answer to that. And this was the longest in the sense from 18 till the time they're alive. And secondly, the fact that this is been a, we started with a parent, Mr. Ravi Gupta and Mrs. Rani Gupta, whose son is Shaurya. So they were also looking for an answer to what will happen to them after us. So the Shaurya Foundation tends to answer these two most important questions: having independent living skills and being able to be gainfully employed are two of our main objectives. So the projects that we run for this is we have assisted employment projects. So we have a bakery, we have a packaging unit, we have SFT Green, in which they work with plants. And then we have an art project, which is an extremely important part of our repertoire of skills that we have. And the digital unit, because given the new technology-based world that we live in, they can't be left behind. And it's a whole new world that they explore through the digital hub. To ensure that they are reaching employment levels, there have to be many support projects. So we do life skill training, resource management, food and nutrition, even grooming, soft skill training. All these skills make up a part of the whole training that we do. Communication is also very much the core of this training that we do, because when you are adults, your life becomes so much more beyond just being able to do something. You have to be able to, share your skills with others. So communication becomes extremely crucial. And what we also believe, very, very strongly believe, is that it's a basic human need and it's a right. If you are a person with IDD, anyway, people tend to believe that you don't have much to say, and what we are telling you, you should do. So their rights and their needs are anyway they come down. So we believe that their communication will become really, really important for us to train them in not only being able to say what they want, but we need to be back there. Stay on that slide. Yes. So beyond, and the fact that a lot of adults also, since we work with only 16 and above, we also tend to see a lot of parents just talking to them about what is it that they want. If we ever actually meet parents, they're like, they should be able to tell us what they want to eat, what they want to say. In fact, we run a independent living program in Palwal. So we are usually very amused that even when the parents tend to call them, the most often repeated question is, what did you eat? And what did you in the sense that beyond their wants and beyond their needs, no other communication topics tend to come up. We also have a further important part that we also realized is that a lot of behaviors tend to come because they're not being able to share what is it that they have on their mind. So not having enough vocabulary, not having enough reasons to communicate was one of the problems that we tend to face with a lot of the adults that we work with. So communication is crucial for self-confidence, independence, and self-advocacy because we want them to move into that direction. So communication becomes extremely important for us. Communication has to have a conducive environment is our biggest lesson. And as we will go along, we'll share with you how actually having a demand on them to communicate is one, having an expectation that they will communicate. But if they don't have the right medium or the right resources, then communication tends to remain limited. So we also further realize that even if it is almost like for the AAC users, even if they have the medium, the method, they don't have enough partners, then also they tend to become very, very limited in their scope of communicating their needs or whatever they want to do in their lives. So having to this is one of the major beliefs that we have had, and we have worked very intensely with the support of experts in the field and the determination of our young adults that they have something to say. So that's where we have come from. All these beliefs are our learnings, actually, having worked with the adults. Next slide, please. All right. So now coming to, I'm sure already we have, kind of emphasized that AAC and adults is most of the time what we tend to see is that AAC must be introduced early is correct. But if you have missed the boat or you did not find your medium, we believe that it is not late. You can start anytime, and given the world that we live in, AAC is becoming a need for even the older population otherwise, or people who go through mental health issues or other, there are multiple reasons why AAC may become part of your life at some point. So and this is specifically for parents, and I would also request for professionals, that if somebody has not started early, it does not mean that AAC cannot become part of their life now. So, but we have to definitely change track. You cannot teach an adult user to become an AAC user the way you do it with young children. That is again something that we learned by doing it. We were trying to do it as per, kind of giving them a vocabulary, getting them to learn through similar methods that you would do, which is reinforcement based or otherwise. And we realized that the adults actually already have a functional way of communicating, and we were not making much headway. I'll also share with you that at Shaurya, we have been doing AAC for almost 12 years now, since the very beginning, because our majority of our population is actually non-verbal. And we have tried different methods and different styles of doing it. We have used peg boards, we have used, low-tech boards, we have used sign gestures. We were very lucky to actually have a colleague who was hearing impaired. So he taught us a lot of signs. So there used to be a whole system in which we would do, the etiquette words, thank you, please. All our students have always known that for almost 10 years. We've been using thank you, we've been using please. So a lot of gestures and signs were already part of our repertoire by the fact that we had a colleague who was using an alternate method. But when we were trying to introduce it in a systematic fashion and training them on any app, we have used at least 7 different apps for AAC. And we realized that we were never making too much of a headway. we would always reach a block, and the fact that the person would give up. So this time round, we have been trying different things, but we actually bumped into the Avaz team on one of the presentations, and we realized that the app had gone through a major modification, and it was the thing that we needed. So we trained the whole team, and then we again started training our students, and then we realized again that it was not making as much headway as it should. So then one of the things that we have, Avaz team actually approached us and in fact guided us that we should get an SLP on board. And once we had the SLP, we tried again the same methods of doing one-on-one sessions, making it more appropriate, need-based and otherwise, and alternates. But then one of the major learnings that the SLP brought forward to us, and Neti hopefully is one of the participants today, she brought it to light that perhaps the same method that we are trying to do will not kind of cut the ice. We need to do something different. And that's when we started thinking alternatively, and we realized that doing a role-based training would be much more appropriate. And from roles, what we refer to is that we tend to actually approach all our trainees here that they are adults who need to perform a job, whether that is baking, whether there is art, and there is an expectation that we would have of them, of any other colleague. That's the benchmark we set, and we see that they actually reach those areas, and they overcome all their blocks, and they reach a point where they're being able to perform work as like anybody else. So that's what we needed to do with communication as well, that we needed to approach them as adults who had something to say, who needed to have initiative, and they need to drive the communications. That once we started thinking like this, we came up to the fact that there has to be role-based training, which we would very simply say okay, every adult has a role to play in their family, whether it is a son, brother, daughter, sister. Those roles belong to us, and there is an expectation how you will conduct yourself in those roles. Then there is beyond the family, there is the community in which you are you go to the market, you are actually a sales, you are a customer, or you go to a film cinema hall, you are an audience there. So what is the role expectation of this person, and what is the communication need that you would have when you're doing this? Or you're a commuter. Then there is extended beyond the community. Also, there is this citizen of India or a citizen of Delhi. What is the expectation that we should have of a normal, young, or neurotypical adult? Same things if we were to expect of our young people, then they tend to actually not only surprise us and how ready they are to play these roles. It is just the opportunity which has been missing. So that is how we started approaching AAC also. And we chose certain roles that also helped us to kind of come up with a specific script that they needed to follow. So this is again something that I've already mentioned to you, that they already have a functional way of communicating, which is their behaviors, gestures. We were in fact sharing an example that if we were saying, okay, you need to go to a washroom or you need to drink water, you need to use the tab and do this, or the fact that we were not insisting, but even if we were trying to introduce it at that point in time, there was a lot of resistance and a lot of anxiety that was cropping up, that already I know how to do this, you are stopping me, am I doing something wrong? Is this something that I should not be doing? So the whole fact that the training actually was creating a lot of anxiety. So we actually moved back from there, and we went into, okay, we need to help structure these conversations. And that, again, we needed to have a structure which came with the role then. So we kind of married the two together. And the more we started doing this, the interactions became more structured. The partners also knew what they had to say and what they did not want to say. The roles that we picked were the ones that we use here often. We have this production, so we have regular sales are required. So there is a salesmanship requirement. There is a self-advocacy. We do a lot of work in self-advocacy actually. So there we have regular workshops in which our young team of self-advocates goes around the whole city of Delhi as well as the Palwal region, where we have 2 centers. So there they go, and they actually have been educating school students, the local youth, even a lot of teachers, lot of Anganwadi workers, ASHA workers. We have been doing a lot of sensitizations on what disability means, and this is conducted purely by our self-advocacy team. Initially, these were all young adults who were very vocal, who had good language skills, and our non-verbal young colleagues were actually just accompanying them. They were doing the, there is a form to be filled, they would just distribute that. So they were just supporting the activity. Gradually, they moved into the role of conducting the, the icebreaker activities. So which also created an opportunity for people to appreciate that these many times the self-advocacy meets would end with, oh, they're just like us. The differences have to be celebrated, not negated, that there is no difference between us. The fact that they are already people with special needs does not make them any lesser or more. They are just unique in their own way. So the minute they started, our AAC users were there. So we used to use placards, and then there would be a support person who would do this. And initially, that is how the sensitizations used to work, and self-advocacy was another area that was very clearly defined. Then we had the third unit, which was the hospitality, because this again was done primarily by, we have a lot of visitors at all points in time, which was conducted. They would be taken around all facilities by the speakers. And then our non-verbal colleagues would just be in the background mainly. So this time round, we decided that the hospitality will be clearly handed over to them. Even presentations we have worked with. So it was quite an exciting opportunity for everybody to collaborate and to kind of make these roles more meaningful for them. All right. So how we went about this is, again, first and foremost, once we actually the whole team trained in Avaz, each and every colleague, we had a team of 18 to 20 people who trained in Avaz, which is the certificate course that they do. And we were very enthused by the fact that they took it so seriously, and we had to, it was really an interesting experience to do the training with the Avaz team. We mastered the board making first and foremost. Once we made the boards, we then practiced amongst ourselves. It was just first and foremost, all the teammates would practice with each other. What is it that I would say? Then the team modeled these conversations to each and every person who is in the center. All our helping staff and everybody is familiar with these boards. They also trained with us on this. And then we started using them with our trainings, which is the young salespeople that we have today. We started doing mock customer trainings. First, we would become the customer, then some parents added up to this whole, kind of process. And then they would be using the app. But we realized 2-3 problems that we faced. One was that if it is a salesmanship, then the device would not make enough. It was very difficult to hear what was being said. So we needed to fix the voice output. This was the most exciting part. But the fact that nobody could hear it, if there were 2 people or 3 people, the device did not have so much, width. So thankfully, like having an booster speaker or a Bluetooth speaker helped us fix that problem. Then we had the sales section where they actually made sales. That really brought in a lot of positive experience for them. And we had lot of, this was supported by the verbal by the team and other people also. The customers were not as willing, I would honestly share that they were not so willing to come and engage with the salesperson. But there was a whole counseling team which was around, which we call the support team. They would go around, counsel the customers, buy in, and get them to the table where they would actually do the conversations. And once they started doing that, the kind of experience that the customer had, we genuinely boosted our sales. And I know Lalita ma'am has been telling us that we should get some data. Okay, what is the sales boost we got? We don't have that yet. But the fact that the customer had a meaningful conversation is an outcome that we really, really appreciate. And that really encouraged the young people to stick to their jobs. Initially, they were doing only 30 minutes of sitting, and then they would be bored and they would want to leave. But once the sales started to happen, now currently they can easily set for 2 hours and they will not move even if they don't get one customer. In the hope of making the sale, they will actually sit around and do their job. The role definition is as a salesperson is. They currently do only one product. They have only one product to sell, and they just need to do the script as taught. And we are hoping that it will become 2-3 products as we go along. Now, once the structure has been done, we would like to now share a video. This is I think the 20th trial. This is not the first trial. So, and he has become very, very good. So this is my colleague Hardik. He's the poster boy for AAC, I believe. And this is his almost 20th outing in which he is now conducting this sale independently. Hello.
Welcome.
Welcome. He's trying to do this, but he cannot.
Hello, welcome.
You are welcome.
Clear. Masala.
Masala.
Nati.
Masala machi.
Lead. Nati.
Please buy masala machi.
Clear.
Please buy.
ये कितने का है?
She asked how much is it?
Take buy. Lead. How many?
How many?
So right now he is asked her how many boxes she wants.
आपको कितना चाहिए मैम? पूछ
Lead.
हाँ.
110 rupees.
110
Billing
rupees.
counter there.
Billing counter there.
Clear.
So he is a super salesperson. So she was asking what is the price. He's saying, how many do you want to buy? Then I will tell you what is the price, because he would have calculated and told her. So that's why he was actually delaying the answer to that one. So this is another young man who once Hardik had mastered it. This is another colleague called Soham. He is also outside on
My
the
name
call.
is Soham. Welcome to Shaurya Center. We have different units here to work in the bakery unit. We make mathis and cookies in the art unit.
He's
we make
doing an
different
introduction to
artwork like
Shaurya.
paintings, garden, craft, etc. In the digital unit, we make poster using Canva, data entry using Excel, also make designs for mugs, sippers and coasters. Thank you.
So this is part of the training. This is the introduction to all stalls is now done by our young AAC users. Yes, the sentences he can actually communicate through the board, but currently because our partners who are communication partners tend to be a little, they seem to be in a little bit of a hurry. So we do use sentences at this point in time for this. And the confidence in this is one gentleman who was very, very passive. We have had this experience with him that he would not even open his lunchbox until unless told, please open your lunchbox. Here, at least he is using the tap in a one that he is outside, he is on a duty. Second, he is being able to actually do this on his own. There is no prompt. He is doing the whole board on his own. And he is another person that we believe who will be managing a stall very, very soon for us. Let's go forward, ma'am. All right. So we actually have the next slot is the hospitality. We need to what we were planning to do is some of our young people are not so apt at doing transitions, moving outside. So we needed to find a role for them which was inside, and also what they will be able to engage with others. So another option, the SLP actually pointed it out to us that a lot of them have functional communication, yes, but that functional communication is also limited to certain partners. They only talk to them and they don't talk to others. So once this became like we have been with them for so long that sometimes, it's right in front of you and you can't see it, is what happened to us also in this. We thought they were very functional. But then we realized that actually once she mentioned it to us, we realized that that is true, that they have lots to say, but they say it only to certain people. And how to, overcome this barrier, how to take them to others and not get them over their inhibitions perhaps. And so we found that hospitality might be a very good idea, because that's when we get a lot of visitors who they can engage with. And we started doing this mock training with mock visitors, that how do you go about this? The board is right there. It says, hello, welcome. My name is, and self-introductions got initiated. And then it was, okay, let me take you around. So we will be sharing some of the videos there also. We were very impressed ourselves with the information that they had, and some of the things that we were assuming they already knew, they did not have that information. So it made it very, very meaningful for us to take them on this journey of training to be the welcoming team. So we will just share some of the videos. This is our, I would say, our higher support need person, but she loves doing the tilak. So once she loves to do the tilak, so we kind of cast in on that, and we asked her to now start doing this. Currently, she needs a lot of support, but she's very good with actions. She's saying welcome. Namaste. Okay, so the third thing was, this is the life skill training program. This was already well advanced for us. We were already doing a lot of direction, learning the routes, learning the prices. In fact, commuting was one of very important life skills for our young adults, because despite and in spite of them even finding jobs, then we have had a lot of young people who have gone into employment. But just because they are not independent in commuting, they tend to fall off the employment wagon also. They tend to not being able to manage commute on their own. Either they are dependent on their parents or somebody or the other, and they were not being able to reap benefits of employment as such. So we decided to do commuting as a central theme for us. So we have had some young people who have learned how to use the metro, and the others know how to use Uber, Ola, all these things that we have been working on. But as non-verbal or AAC users were not part of this training. So once we started doing AAC in such a systematic fashion, the commuting became very important. And the commuting had to have reason. There had to be a purpose to that commute. That's when we kind of started teaching them how to shop around the center first. One of the places that was kind of shortlisted, because it's a short walk, it's fairly safe, and the fact that there is a bakery has a regular requirement of milk. So we narrowed down on that area, and there is a milk booth where they have to walk. It's a 5-minute walk from the center, and that's the communication board that we created for them, in which they had to go and buy milk every morning. And they started doing this. Now, currently, one of our young people, milk booth fun. If we can just do the milk booth first. Yeah. So this is Hardik again. He's our first out always. So Hardik is at the milk booth. Milk booth fun. This is also almost, I think, after 2 months of training, that he is completely independent currently and doing it. I want
Mother diary. Bill. Thank you. I want mother diary. Bill. Thank you.
He said, I want Mother Dairy milk, thank you. And this gentleman is not trained. He is just obviously the milk booth person, but he has been doing this for almost 3 months, and every day he listens to them with the same interest. He is, in fact, Hardik is currently training another colleague, but they may, and he kind of gives them marks every day. You know, this one knows, this one doesn't know. He's very good at this. Hardik has also mastered buying different things at different points in time. We can give him a shopping list. You buy this and bring so many. He's being able to manage that. And now he's mentoring another young colleague. So that was the milk shopping. And this further, we believe that at least 3 more people will be doing this in the next 3 months. And we have a very good partner at the shopping, at the milk booth now. Yeah, this is the second outing that they tend to do for the sales. For the shopping is actually to a stationery shop, who is again an extremely, it's not very far away from us. And they have been doing pen shopping for us. If we can. Hello? Hello, I want the ballpoint pen. What size? Thank you, welcome. This is his, I think, 4th outing. And this gentleman actually knows how to shop, but this is the first time he is using the Avaz app to do the shopping. And this is another video of another gentleman. This is Soham. That was Vikhyat. Soham also shopping for pens.
Hello. Pen.
I want
Green.
There's a lag
Green.
in video.
Pen.
pen.
We are still seeing him walking into the shop. Yeah, I think it's a lag.
Clear.
Price pusher.
Price.
You do hear the prompt that there is a mentor within who is prompting, please ask for price, please ask. So currently he doesn't do this independently, but he's understood that this is how it goes.
Thank you. Pen. Thank you.
This we have already seen. So there are these 2 shopping expeditions that they tend to do. And we are very happy with the kind of results that we have had. There is a lot of confidence building. There is a lot of, there is this desire. In fact, they will volunteer for doing work for us now. If we ever ask, does anyone want to go to the shop and buy something, or we need something? So we have these young people who are now volunteering. Now, the last role that we had identified, which is the self-advocacy thing, in which they are primarily doing the icebreaker. So icebreaker is an activity which we can request you all also to join in, because you've been so patiently listening to us, that once we get to a sensitization workshop, our AAC users tend to get the crowd to focus their energy and also indicate the capacities that they have. They are getting the role of being the initiator. So we will share this video in which this person is actually asking you, if you play. This is Anya. She is a young person. Hello. So which is a wave?
Let's go shopping.
Let's go shopping. My name is Anya. Let's go shopping. Please, this is called the mirror game. Please do as I do. Let's take a flight to Paris. Oh, wow, Eiffel Tower. Let's eat the pastry. Let's go shopping. Let's fly back home. Oh, well done. Thank you. So we don't have a group video to share, but this tends to go down very well, particularly with school students. And we have also now, kind of changed it to the Indian scenario of going to the Qutub Minar, having golgappas rather than pastries at the Eiffel Tower. So which has also brought in a very, very good response. So now coming to what are the next steps that we would like to take. We have been very excited about the progress these young people have made. And these were all the young people who have been with Shaurya for a while now, but we were never able to kind of get them to be in the forefront. They were always the back-end people, but currently they are the main presenters, main, some of the basically getting the equal rights as per every other colleague of ours. So now one of the feedbacks that we have received is to make it more natural and fluent. That's another thing that we will be working towards. But what we see as the fact that for partners also, it's easier to go through these conversations. So they are becoming better at it. Our young salespeople particularly are doing much better. They have the right answers. They know where to find the questions. Then also skipping steps, moving forward, taking the conversation. They are taking a lot of lead in that. We would like to host a self-advocacy meet at some point in time where we will have only the AAC users perhaps. Then creating forums for conversations, which is till now, we were also stuck with just what they do here, but we want to reach the community level. We want to reach the citizenship level that we were thinking about. Currently what we did the last, which I think was very interesting, was the G20 meet. When we had the G20 meet where all the schools and everything was shut down in Delhi. So we had a conversation forum in which everybody discussed whether hosting a G20 was a good idea or not. And once we had that, and our AAC users were also part of this discussion, that gave us a good idea that every month we pick up a topic in which they are part of this discussion, whether they understand them or they don't understand them, they have the opportunity to participate. So which has also worked out very nicely for us. It has also created, these forums are creating a lot of partners for them. There are people whom they can work with. Then enabling the environment is, we have spent a lot of effort and energy in this. We have bought proper machines, we have bought stands, we have got parent training, we're creating more and more opportunities around. We will be sharing, hopefully you can see some of the things that we have already done. Peers are helping them to build up more vocabulary. Any discussion that they have, every peer that they are partnering or who is mentoring them has the duty of teaching them 3 new words. So which has also worked out very nicely for us. And the building the initiative in the AAC users is one of the prime objectives of this effort. They tend to be so passive and they tend to be only answering questions. So initiating a conversation has become, we constantly think extremely, like the team is working very hard to come up with creative ideas to give them initiative in conversations. We have to thank the SLP and the Avaz team the most, because if they had not been around, we would not have, we tend to even send our queries to them, how can we do this now? And we get a very quick answer. This is one of the other things that we are doing. This Diwali, our greeting cards or even the thank you cards or notes are using the Avaz vocabulary. And we are making sure that each and every person who is related to Shaurya tends to understand what argumentative alternative communication is. So all our tags, all our packaging has these tags. Now, even our social media posts have the Avaz postings. Each and every room in Shaurya, Delhi particularly, has these boards, which are the low-tech boards. Those who have not yet started on the tabs are being able to do this. As the picture shows, we have invested in stands because we realized that being able to manipulate 2 things was tough for some of them. Like the voice output was pretty low for some of them. And so these are things we are like consciously working towards, that it becomes easy for them to do these things. So further, some of the feedback that we have had, I'm sure it's already on our post. हमारे काफी सारे social media posts already has these feedbacks. But some of the parents, in fact, everybody was very keenly waiting for the Avaz sale to come along. A lot of our parents have invested genuinely now, keen to invest in it. They have taken lifetime subscription because they see value in doing this now. So all the last 1.5 years, actually, I would say we have taken a full 180-degree turn, and we have come to a point where we see that AAC users will be leading in most of our projects. So parents are backing this. Our customers have given us great feedback for this. I could. All right. So as the fact that what are the main heads under which we can summarize the learnings that we have had over the last 1.5 years, particularly, is that functionality has to be priority. There has to be, expectations need to be age appropriate. Once you have that, that seems to, like, we have had parents who have come in and gone with their child to the mother dairy booth for the milk buying, and then they have said, oh yes, this is something he could do at home also, or gone shopping somewhere else with them for these pens and otherwise, and they found the way forward for their own young adult, rather than they being stuck in the role of being a person with challenge who just has to be looked after. And seeing is believing. For parents, that has really, really helped us. Currently, parents tend to come and train somebody's, not their own child, but another AAC user here, and which has opened out their minds and helped us in doing this. This is fairly young. Parent training other young AAC users is just 3 months old currently, but it is showing us good results in that sense. So now for the institution, I think we have struggled with this for almost 10-12 years, and what we found to be most useful is that we have to be fully committed. It can't be 1 or 2 people who are practicing it or who are trying to teach it. It has to be a team effort. All the team members have to be committed to doing the AAC. We have found it to be very useful that when we adopted one method, it is almost learning a foreign language, that each and every one of us was speaking the same thing or doing the same vocabulary, it became much easier. So we have adopted Avaz as the system, and we think that it has really helped us because all of us are speaking the same language. The expectations of the partners or AAC users are set, and partners also know, and the person doing AAC also knows what they want to say. So it has really helped us, and we will highly recommend it. Enabling the environment, you have to make it very, very, it has to be the most important thing to do, in our opinion, and that has also helped us. Individually, obviously, confidence has skyrocketed. There was this whole, the person that we are watching in the videos, we would not have imagined. In fact, I'd like to share that there is one of the young people who is with the stand that the picture was, he's called Parth. Parth has an aversion to using the tabs and he would not stick with the tab. But currently, in the last week only, he actually got his mentor, Anita ji, who is the person in the blue suit, and who is the spirit behind it. She is the one who has actually mentored each and every person that you have seen today. And he actually got her, and he said, okay, open the cupboard, give me the tab, I have to practice. So this is from a point where we were very resistant, or we would be very concerned if we had to give him the tab. We would likely to throw it. And today he is actually asking for the tab and doing it as his own. That has been a big journey for us. So confidence is high, the initiative is high, the fact that this belongs to me and this is my job has come. And they also tend to offer a lot of solutions to us. If we are watching, if we are aware, if we are interested in making it happen, then solutions are with them. So I think we have had a very, very interesting time with this journey. The challenges have been that we tend to sometimes become like, we are the adults and we are telling you do this. So that is where the challenge is, that treating, when we are saying do an adult role, we have to allow them to be adults. And functionality, they already know a lot of things. We need to be just facilitating them in the process. And we have to be extremely patient. There is no single, it is genuinely a game in which you have to be extremely patient until and unless you have the faith and you continue to do this. Over a period of time, you will see results. But if you are in a hurry and you try it once and then you give up, then I don't think any AAC method will work for you. You have to be extremely patient and allow them to lead. These are our biggest challenges that we have had to constantly remind us that it is about them, not us. The vocabulary has to belong to them, not us. So that's and I would really thank Naiti ma'am and Anita ji for doing all that they have done. It is their hard work, but yes, our team has backed it 100%. At every point, AAC is the way forward for us. We are committed to this 100%, and we would like to learn more. And we are very keen to have your feedback. Give us more ideas. All our videos are actually easily accessible. Our social media is full of these. And if you want more, we will be very happy to share more. As always, I thank you for your support, and I like support the AAC, the support, the icon there. So that's it from us, and we would like to have as many partners as possible on this journey. Lalita ji is there.
Yeah. Yes, thank you so much, Rubina. That was very interesting to see the different ways in which you have, used AAC. It was very interesting and very creative ways and very enthusiastic. I think it was great to share different ways and also putting them in real life situations. So I think that was very useful for parents. I hope the audience has got more ideas now after hearing and seeing what you've been doing. Like simple things of taking them to the mother, the milk booth and, simple things. Yeah, but it's a real life situation that they're put into. And you can do that at the school level or at whichever organization that you lead for AAC. It can be done there. And yeah,
I would actually say, Lalita ma'am, it really helped us because if it was on the table learning, we were not getting them to be engaged in that. So the minute it became an experience, there was much more, it was faster, it was easier for us also, it was easier for them also.
Correct. And it's more meaningful. It's more, there is purpose behind it for them now. Right. So that makes all the difference rather than just a tabletop activity or, just a session or something like that. Yeah, that was very interesting to see. Manavi, yes, well done. Got useful insights. Also the peer mentoring, I thought that was also very useful to see how you've involved the peers, you've involved the parents, you've got the entire team trained on it. So that was very good to hear and all best practices to be followed.
In fact, the peer training has worked out best for us now. That was because, they spend so much time here. They are here for almost 6 to 7 hours. And the most that their peers know them very well. Like say there are so many days that we don't know whether this person is in a good mood, bad mood, what's wrong with him. And the peers know. So they anyway have a system of communication going, which is beyond. So that has also helped us.
Yeah. I've just launched the poll. So on a scale of 1 to 10, how likely are you to recommend this session to other parents and professionals? Please share your feedback. Any comments? Even the welcome was nice, actually. For any event, you can always do that welcoming thing, which it gives them a lot of purpose and a sense of achievement. So what did you see? What did you see were the differences, but after using these and later for the AAC user themselves? What kind of differences did you see?
Ma'am, I will start with a few of the expectations that we set. We, in fact, had them always supported in sitting for, even 15 minutes sitting, half an hour sitting. They would not stick to that space and for, kind of move around, not be sitting properly or otherwise. So once we started giving them these roles to do, now currently all of them can sit half an hour without support. That's something that really has come in, that tend to take the role seriously. Then
Right.
they have been able to initiate conversations in a meaningful manner. They've been able to approach even anybody who comes in or walks in. They know what to do, and the fact that this is something that they are doing more appropriately now. So the appropriate behaviors have come around. Confidence is much better, and the fact that they are kind of realizing that they are not sleepwalking through the day in so many ways. They are also present here. So it's almost like, yeah, I have a role to do and I have to kind of be active in my role. So that has really helped us.
Very nice. Yeah, indeed. Echo what
Yeah.
Kirtana says. Amazing implementation. Absolutely. It's really good, and all within 6 months. So that's really fantastic that so much of enthusiasm with you, with your team. So hats off to all the efforts that have gone into this, and so many creative ideas of doing things. Especially the observation that things. Sorry, I'm reading out the comment from Kirtana, who says, amazing implementation, especially the observation that things they already communicated a certain way might not be the most motivating for AAC users. Yeah, absolutely. I was just telling her that the same thing during our last time session. Yeah. So it looks like we can end the session. As soon as we end, okay, Julie says, how did you train them to cross the road? Many ASD children get self-absorbed in between tasks. How did you manage them staying on task?
All right. So, ma'am, genuinely, the milk booth is where they go, and they are not really required to cross the road there. It is it's within the community. So they are not doing road crossing currently. The other thing is, right now, the road crossing is not our objective. They know the process. But currently, one of the senior persons, actually, that's where the peer mentoring is really helping. All the expectations are not in one go. The expectations are, first they have to be able to do this. We will come to the road crossing also. But it is on the agenda, and we are very confident that they'll be able to do it. But they're we have not had a single person run away or not go to the task that they've been told to do. That is a major achievement for us. Otherwise, we had concerns. I must say we had a lot of concerns ourselves that if we are putting them on the road, they'll run away, they'll go to the chips shop, or they'll go somewhere here or there. But none of them has ever done that till date. They actually go to the task that we have sent them for, and they come back. Or the peers help them. Okay, you need to get back. So that's where we are. But we will be happy to share in 6 months' time what happens if we put them in.
So there's one more question from Prerna. How did you define the roles? Please elaborate.
So the roles are already here, ma'am. We already had the roles defined because our our verbal colleagues were already doing these roles. Our sales are done by our young adults only. So the role was already defined. What is expected of them when they go for a sale? They should have a stock. They should be able to talk to the customers. They should introduce the product. So all this is already part of our training. But our non-verbal young people were not part of this yet. And they were just always doing the stocking only. They would be shelving, they will be putting material, but they were never part of the sales team. So the role was already defined. The hospitality also, we had more or less the same process that our verbal young colleagues were doing this. We have just broken it down. We have made it very simple. And initially the boards have, all our boards have minimum 24 pictures, but we give them only 4 or 5 to do initially. Then we introduce more. And this was again part of the training that we hide the pictures and they have the same board to do and they master it. I am very hopeful that in 3 months' time, they would all have mastered their boards. That initially they do 5 to 6, then they do more, and then they will be doing the whole thing. So the roles were already in place.
Good students, I guess. all the best practices have been followed to the T. So any other questions?
And we had a very good mentor in Neti also, if she's here. So I would have, she was amazing. She understood our concerns very, very quickly. That, we can't really, we can't do food reinforcement is not allowed here. We don't encourage it at all. So she was like, okay, then what is it that can be encouraging? Finding a reinforcer which will be meaningful, was another task that we got round to. So
So
she
what
a
was the
very-
reinforcer? Oh, Niyati is there.
The
Okay.
reinforcement was good job. You have done a good job. Yes, thank you,
Good,
Neti,
yeah.
for all the
Hmm.
support and the fact that the reinforcers, social reinforcers work very well. Because work also we use only social reinforcers, those who have done the task well, those who have not done so well. There is self-analysis also that they tend to do. So there is a lot of, that was already part of the process. So it helped us. Here again, there was no food reinforcers, just being able to do the task well. And a lot of positive reinforcement from the peers, from teachers, that worked very well for us.
So thank you so much. And thanks everyone for joining.